pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Deb, do you have the audio? Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded, audio and video. Okay, so the first order of business is to approve, which I don't see here, so I'm guessing we don't have the minutes. That's an automatic stamp on there. So we don't have minutes to approve tonight. So first up on the agenda is we have received a citizen petition to call for a special town meeting. There were 257 certified signatures. The requirement for calling a meeting is 200. So there will be a special town meeting, and the purpose of the meeting is to once again revisit the question of whether or not to buy 19 Main Street property, also known as the Hitchcock Family House, not to be confused with the Hitchcock Academy, which we are not making any kind of an attempt to buy. Again, this is a citizen petition, so we have no choice, there's no discussion to be had here. It's been requested, certified, and now we will call a date for it. There are two items on this. One is to purchase the property, and the other is for $50,000 to hire an architect to get us through the process. So, having said all of that, I'm afraid I'm the only one that has a copy of that, but I'll leave it in the folder, so if you would like a copy, you can have Deb or Chris is in tomorrow, make a copy for everybody. Okay, now we have to decide when. The law says we have to do it within no longer than 45 days from the certification, and we have to do mailings and postcards and so forth no more than 2 weeks before the meeting. So now the question becomes, when do we do the meeting? Deb, do you have a calendar right there?
Yep.
I talked about this earlier with Deb at the annex, and we thought the week before Thanksgiving would probably be the best week to do that, one day.
You're looking, the week before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
The 27th. Saying that, guys, we only have 6 weeks from the 14th, so
What would that Tuesday be?
the 18th,
The 18th?
and the week before is a holiday, it's Veterans.
Say again?
And the week before has Veterans Day too, so.
Okay, so the week before is Veterans Day, the week after is Thanksgiving, so I think that's going to be it. How about that Tuesday?
That works for me. I talked to Deb about it because we just have to be available in the year.
Yep. Okay.
I would kind of disagree. I think, could we wait till the week after Thanksgiving? Or
You
is
missed
that
the
pushing it?
deadline. Yeah, you only, it has to be 45 days from the
45 days
14th,
from
the 14th.
No.
she's saying the 14th.
From the
From the 14th, it's the day they were
when it's
certified.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day they're certified.
I'm also away that week too.
I have a,
So-
can we like discuss? it?
Yeah, of course.
My question is, obviously, it's sale pending.
Yep.
So what happens if they buy it and the purchase goes through, then we don't have an option to do it anyway, correct? I mean, it's a
Excellent
valid
question, which I had intended to speak to. Excuse me. That's a great question. We don't necessarily have the authority to simply cancel the meeting because it wasn't a select board decision to call the meeting. It was done by citizens. So I'm not entirely sure what the process would be if for some reason that house closes prior to us making some kind of a decision. So that's a question that we'll have to ask the town council, but I thought I would wait until after this meeting before we made that. So before the week is up, we'll talk to the town council and see what they think about it. Because I don't think even the people who circulated the petition can't even really say we're not having it, because it's all the other 257 people that signed this thing. What did you have for a date?
Deb said the 18th because the 11th is holiday.
But, I mean, you could do it any other day that week. It's gonna be tight, but we have to mail, the warrant has to be hung 2 weeks before, and the mailers have to go out.
Okay. So we can get the meeting posted, and we can get the warrant posted for it. It's only 2 articles. Does anybody know if Chris is back tomorrow?
Yes,
Thought he
I
said
think
I think he is, yeah, I thought he said something back. Was that marathon today?
No, it's Sunday.
Oh, Sunday, okay. Is he running back from New York?
So I guess if your next meeting is the 3rd, and you guys sign the warrant, and we have it hung,
Well, yes,
if you wanted to do it,
and we
well,
can, and
no,
we
that's,
can always.
see, we still gotta
if
do
nec-
2 weeks.
Yeah, if necessary, depending on all the scheduling that's going on with this thing, including a sale pending on it, it seems that sooner rather than later would make sense.
If-
So if we needed to get something before we meet on the 3rd, we can always,
If you meet
Yeah.
next week and
yeah,
sign the
or
warrant.
we can have a meeting if necessary.
How's Wednesdays work for everybody?
Wednesday's okay with me. Wednesday's good for you? He's gone that week, so Wednesday would be perfect.
Crystal's gone. I think you've gone that week too.
It's
right?
supposed
is?
to be, but that's okay, that's okay, I can change.
What date would be the 45th day from the 14th? 28th would be, right?
Be the 20, if I'm counting right,
It would be the
27th.
Right.
27th.
Which is
Thanksgiving.
Will everybody bring a turkey?
I'll bring the pie.
I mean, unless you have it Monday, the 24th, but that's the week of
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Everybody
Yeah.
leaves,
That's not fair.
everybody leaves for
I would say,
Yeah.
yeah, the latest, the 19th then. Because
Okay,
people
so
will
it's either
leave.
be the 18th, Tuesday the 18th, or Wednesday the 19th?
My vote's for the 19th, but we'll see what everybody else says.
Okay.
Whatever works.
It's
for
only,
the
well, it's only
majority.
3 of us, right? You won't be
No,
here.
Crystal said she,
Yeah, yeah. I'm supposed to be away, but I will change my plans for that.
so there'll be 4 of us.
I will.
Okay.
I think it's important.
Yeah, well, again, we're not, yeah, and we're not sponsoring this, so
Right.
it's not like we're gonna
Right.
really have a lot to do with it.
Do
Right,
we-
I would, go ahead.
To make sure the school's available.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah.
so we'll have to make sure of that.
Tuesday or Wednesday?
I would say
Exactly, we don't know which day yet, that's
Okay.
where,
I would vote for Wednesday.
okay.
What do you say?
I'm good. You good?
Wednesday's fine.
You good
I
with
would-
Wednesday?
Great. with
It's the
Wednesday.
19th, all right?
That is
And I would
correct.
say 7 o'clock start, or 6:30.
Yeah, 6 seemed to be troublesome for some families.
Okay.
At least that was the consensus. Not that we just want to try to make it easier for all of them.
Yeah, I'm good, whatever it is, so. So you want to say Wednesday, the 19th, at the school, 7 PM? All right, why don't we do this, and we will have to notify the school that
Yep.
we're going to be doing this, okay? Who's our best school liaison?
That would be me.
Okay, guess we get.
I will reach out to them
All
tomorrow.
right, good, thank you. All right, why don't we make a motion on that? Move that along then.
I'll make a motion that we set the special town meeting for
November.
November 19th for the Hitchcock property for the special town petition for at 7 o'clock in the school.
Second?
Any further discussion on it? I don't see or hear any, so all in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandalay?
Stewart, aye.
Raise your eye.
Kelly, aye, thank you. So we did 2.
Yeah, we did the first two.
Why don't we make a motion to accept that petition?
I think it's
Because I don't think we did
better.
that.
No.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to accept what is it, the petition,
Citizens
for
petition.
citizens petition, and that's in That's the first one or the second?
That's gonna be the second one.
Yeah, the second one for $50,000, correct? That's the
Oh,
one.
you're gonna do, no, you're gonna do this one here.
No.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, no, those are
Accept-
just articles that'll be on the warrant, that's all.
Gotcha. I'll make the motion to accept the citizens petition to place the article pertaining to the acquisition and renovation of 19 Main Street for November 19th at 7 PM.
Can I get a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye?
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Next up, we have the first, right of first refusal for 2 properties. Actually, it's like 3 properties. And these are the page and book, I'm guessing, 12A, 29.3, 12A, 29.2, and 2B.
I thought there was an issue with the 2B6, something about being within the, over the timeline for us to, what did Chris say?
Hold on.
Do you remember, do you recall?
I have the representative from that sitting right there, so why don't we just
Oh,
ask
yeah,
her
yeah,
the
yeah.
question?
Yeah, it's one of my projects. Yeah, this is, I was brought to that my attention, but I want to give the board, I just want to, do belts and suspenders on this, just making sure that you guys are comfortable with it also. The 45H has gone, I'm not into a loophole, so I just
Okay.
want to make sure this is nice and clean.
Okay.
So if you don't mind giving a vote, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so with these, I think there were a couple, the planning, conservation, everybody has signed off on this at this point, do you know?
Planning has, conservation is not needed. There is an issue with conservation that we're addressing right now. They made some access roads that they shouldn't have done. We're going to take care of that. But that shouldn't have anything to do with your right of first refusal.
Okay. So I guess what it boils down to is there is a process for these 61As where certain groups like conservation and planning and, is there anybody else besides us that's to sign off on that?
Assessors, we have
Assessors, I
assessor
was gonna say too,
paperwork.
right?
And you also have one, if you don't mind speaking to the chair, we also have one, a conveyance charge, which is $20,000 that's been paid to the tax collector also.
Okay,
I was up at the town hall most of the day on last Thursday.
okay. All right. Questions, thoughts, comments, motions, anything?
I mean, what do they plan on doing? I mean, I did read some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, this is just for us to say we don't have any interest in buying it, you know? I mean, the things are in,
Yeah, no, I did.
all right. I
read-
didn't want to sound like I wasn't, you know.
No, I did read
Okay.
most of it,
Okay.
90% of it.
All right.
So I can't explain it to you if you want.
No, I mean,
It's nine lots.
I mean, towns shouldn't be in the position
Yeah.
to buy properties.
Yeah.
We need tax money coming in, so let them build a building and get tax
So you
money.
get some tax money out of these ones.
All right. Okay, in that case, can we get a motion on these?
I'll make a motion for the right of first refusal for properties, we're going to do them separately or all together?
Yeah, you might as well do them separately, just so.
For refusal for properties 12-A-29.3,
Second?
All in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Next up.
I'd like to make a motion for the right of first refusal for property 12-A-29-2.
Okay, before we do that, just a quick adjustment to that.
Yeah.
You might want to just say that we are choosing not to purchase this.
Right, so I'll retract that and make a motion. So the right of first refusal for the property at 12A-29.2 for the town of Brimfield not to purchase the property.
Second?
All in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. And before we go any further,
Yeah.
just because I'm sure there's nobody who would like to challenge it, why don't we redo 12A 29.3?
Okay.
And just add, we
Yeah.
have no interest
Yeah.
in buying.
Not to purchase.
So make a motion for right of first refusal for property 12-A.
Hold on, sorry, I don't mean to keep doing this to you. We should rescind the first vote, and then we'll do the new one with the new one.
All right, we want to rescind that motion for the first refusal of 12A-49.3.
Okay, I'll second that.
Second.
Okay, all All in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Now a new one to accept.
So I'd like to make a motion for the right of first refusal from property 12-A-29.3 for the town of Brimfield that will not purchase the property.
We just have one correction, 29-2.
Nope,
No,
29-3.
29-3.
Oh, I'm sorry, right, we just did that. I just wanted to see if you were paying attention.
That time I was.
Yeah, all right. All in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Okay. Now, all confusion aside, we have one last one to do there.
Correct. Make a motion for the right of first refusal from property 2-B-6 for the town of Brimfield not to purchase the property.
Second.
All in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Okay, our next item up is discussion, building committee public meeting documentation. And we had several members who had asked about that, so I know I've heard from others about they want, asking for more time to go through this paperwork because not everybody has seen it, so I would like to suggest that we put that and the next item, status of the building committee, on hold until everybody's had a chance to go through all the paperwork on this.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the paperwork, and
Okay.
so I
All
would.
right, why don't we just make a motion then and we can defer this to the next meeting?
Make a motion to table the discussion of the building committee public meeting documents, and, can I just do it together?
Yeah.
And the status of the building committee until,
Okay,
I'll second that.
second, all right. So there's no discussion? I don't see any. All right, all in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Next one, we have a reserve fund transfer, sick bank hours. This is from the senior center, I believe. right?
So, yeah,
Senior
this,
center staffing account number is listed on the agenda. So what we're doing basically is just asking for reserve fund transfer.
right, we had discussed this at the previous meeting,
Right.
and I think we voted unanimously, so we just need a
Yeah.
signature.
Okay. So we're just looking for a reserve fund transfer at this point.
Yes.
Okay, and it's got the accountant who's for it. All right, so we get a motion to approve the reserve fund request to the finance committee.
I make a motion to reserve, to what? For the reserve fund transfer of.
Yeah, we're
sick
sending a
bank.
request
Do you
to-
want, I don't need to do that account number, right?
No.
All right,
If anybody needs it, it's part of the
Right.
agenda.
okay. For the senior center staffing.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right. Any further discussion, questions? No? Okay, all in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye. Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have the capital improvement plan committee. I think,
So I actually had asked for this to be on, within our bylaws in section 9, we're supposed to have a capital improvement plan committee. And I think we should, get this committee, regardless of what happens with 19 Main, or regardless of where we're going with that. I think it's very important that we get this committee established so that we have some long-term plans. We're supposed to have a report from them every year. And even though the UMass study is supposed to be here like any day now, I think, that'll give them a good beginning, good discussions when they meet. But we need residents, I believe it's a member of finance, member of building, member of planning, and three residents that we appoint.
is that for the capital improvement or the personnel?
No, the capital improvement.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to just steal your time for 1 second.
Go ahead.
The department heads have kind of a quasi-plan in place that you use, right?
Yeah,
And this is not to say that they are the capital,
yeah, the fall would just be highway, police, fire, a couple members of FinCom, if we,
Right.
just to discuss, you know, for example, if you're getting a vehicle or something, we may not because you need it more than we do or whatever.
Right.
Just to at least kind of lay out some kind of idea.
And per the bylaw is the department heads are supposed to be sending in, you know, what they anticipate to this committee. Again, that's section 9 of our bylaws. So I agree with you that that's what has been done, but I think we need to tighten it up and come to the bylaws.
Yeah,
So,
and I didn't mean to be throwing these guys under the bus. I mean, in the
Right,
absence
they're
of
doing the
having an
work.
official,
Right.
they're making sure that those things get done. So
Right.
for that, I commend all
right,
of them.
and I know they put a lot of work in
Yeah.
with UMass and,
Yeah.
that they were collecting their data.
Right.
But I would like to, you know, have this committee discuss getting this, especially this committee up and running.
Okay?
Do we have any members that have reached out that are, like, I say citizens, you know?
I believe by the bylaws, it's just a matter of them, I've reached out to a couple of residents to see if they were interested. I don't know if anyone on the board would know, or anybody out there would know, but 3 residents, and then we need, you know, somebody from the building committee, somebody from the finance committee to ask to be appointed.
Why don't we do this, if everybody's in agreement? I'm sure we all have people that we could say, oh, yeah, we'll make them come in and do
Right,
this.
right.
Why don't we post this committee?
Yeah,
And for
absolutely.
everybody, not just for the people, like civilians that are gonna come in and do this, but even for potential members of finance or
Right.
any place else that might have an
Open
interest
it
in
up.
doing
Yep,
it.
absolutely.
And if we don't hear from, let's say, and I don't mean to pick on finance, but they're easy because it's right on top of my head right now. If we don't hear from anybody from that committee that is interested in doing it, we'll have to maybe reach out to the chair and just say, hey, we need the name of somebody
Right.
that can,
Right.
you know, be our liaison to that
And
committee.
if, you know, from these committees, if we get, you know, 2 people from the committee that are interested, then we can decide upon that.
Yeah.
Because I think there is interest to be a
Good.
part of this.
Good,
But yes, I think that's a good plan, to post it,
Okay.
and just kind of, you know, word of mouth
good.
for residents as well.
Would you be willing, I know I'm gonna be disappearing in another day or so, would you be willing to talk to
Sure.
Chris about making sure that that's posted properly and
Yeah.
exactly what you'd like to see it say
Yeah.
in the posting? Thank you. Anybody else got a thought on that?
I support everything she said.
Okay. Thank you for that. All right, next up, we have public forum structured discussion. And we have one of our members has requested that. Is that you?
No, code of conduct.
No? Okay. All right. Then I'm not sure. Somebody had asked about having it on there,
It
so.
wasn't me, but while we're on it, we might as well talk about it.
Go ahead.
I mean, again, you know, I've tried, and I think our residents deserve to be heard, not just every other meeting for 15 minutes, and then if there's something up, they have no chance to speak. Bothers the shit out of me. I just don't like it. I mean, this town runs on our citizens paying their taxes. So again, I'm just saying it, I'm not saying it's gonna go anywhere, but I still think the citizens need to speak. Not just at every other meeting before the meeting. So that's all I wanna say. I don't wanna get into a big, long thing. I just think I'm never gonna go away from that. But, and I do appreciate you putting it back on for the every other one, but then once they're done speaking, they could give some insight sometimes, in a respectful manner. And if they decide they're gonna get out of line like it's been in the past, then we go to step 2, in my opinion. It's only my opinion, so.
And I would kind of agree with that. I think the every other meeting, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, and kind of rubs a lot of residents the wrong way, because we can kind of steer things, you know, of what's being on the agenda. I would encourage the chair to make it, the public forum, to make it at every meeting. And again, when it's at the beginning of the meeting, it's not for debate, it's just to have residents come up and say whatever they want to say. And we obviously can't discuss anything that's not on the agenda, but it's a matter of the citizens being heard. So I would encourage it to go back on, you know, baby steps. At least get it on every meeting's agenda.
Okay, let me speak to that. I don't think there's too many people in this town that are confused by why we didn't just allow this to continue to be a free-for-all at these meetings. We had some very difficult times going through here. We had unruly people who were standing up yelling and screaming and threatening and all kinds of stuff. The only way to get decorum into these meetings was to control who said what, okay? And I don't mean to say who said what, but I mean the way it's being addressed, how people are coming in and addressing the board. I have no problem expanding that, but I would just offer this, not by way of just explanation. In the time that we've been doing the every other week for 10 minutes in the beginning, we've had 3 people get up and address the board.
I would agree.
As much as I respect my colleagues' thoughts and opinions, and I will certainly take a look at that for them, I don't want to lose sight of the fact that we don't have 25 people waiting in line
Right.
that are not being allowed to talk. And, having said that, I don't mind, if somebody's got something that they feel is important, they want to address the board on, then my suggestion to that particular person is, why don't you draw up something that you want to talk about, give us all the information about what the concerns are so that this board can be prepared to intelligently speak to it when the meeting is held, as opposed to just kind of trying to wing it when somebody gets up in front of us and asks us a question. So if that's something that's important enough that people want to, be able to address the board and get answers to something, then by all means, send a request into the board. Just be sure that it's something that is handled by the board, or the select board rather, and not by the planning board or the conservation or the health board or anybody else, because time has showed us that a lot of times people will sign up to come in and address the board on issues that have nothing to do with the select board, mostly because they can get their grievances aired on television. So in the interest of not wasting a lot of time, of the board's time, on things that don't concern us, I would just ask, and that would be a criteria if we're looking at what goes on the agenda, what doesn't. If somebody comes in, they said, I want to talk to you about my neighbors violating the wetlands. Well, that's not something we're going to be able to do for you, that you'd have to go to conservation, or, there are other groups that control a lot of these issues. So, to my colleagues, all of you, not just the 2 to my right here, I'd be more than happy to take a look at that, and I'm completely open to expanding that, okay? With the idea that if it devolves into what it was,
Right.
that
I
would
would
be,
agree.
that would be shut down as fast as it was
And
opened up.
again, it's an outlet for the residents to be heard.
I agree.
Again, it's not on the agenda, we're not gonna discuss it, but we could hand them the form that said, here,
Yeah.
fill out this form for a request to be on the agenda. I think it just opens the public.
I think personally that a lot of people don't come because they know they can't speak, so they don't come. I mean, I'm not saying if we were to open this full board
Right.
tonight, that next meeting, we're gonna have 75 people here that wanna talk, but I think you might get a few more.
And if we don't,
That's
that's
fine
fine
too.
too, but when people approach us, they can't talk, well, yes, you can talk.
Okay, well, I want the board members to get whatever they feel they need on this board, so if that's something that's important to everyone, we'll certainly be happy to take a look at that and try to expand the public access part of the meeting.
I'd like to say something too. I think that by doing that, it shows good faith from us as the board, the governing board, to the residents, the citizens of our town. I think there's responsibility on both sides in this room when we do that. There's our responsibilities, and that's what is next on the agenda that I'll speak about, code of conduct. And code of conduct goes both ways, that side and this side. So, if we can get ourselves back to, a method of communicating that's, you can have your passion, but self-regulated sometimes, right? To make sure the messages are heard and not the emotion. If we can do that, we'll be in great shape, Code of conduct, we'll talk about that next, but I'm in favor. I listened to what you guys are saying, and I've been thinking of this myself. There's got to be a better way. I testified at the State House a few weeks ago on military matters, and they gave me 3 minutes stopwatch. I did it remote, so there's a 3-minute clock in the corner, and I said what I had to say. I did not violate the 3 minutes. I saw that thing hit about 2:59, and I was like, I ended my statement, and I was good, even though I had a lot more to say. But I had to stop it. But if we can just get decorum among among the board and the residents and be able to do that responsibly, I think that's a fantastic idea. And Marty, I do exactly know what you're talking about, why we're in the position we're in, right? And hopefully time is healed and we can move forward.
Okay, with the good goes the bad, and we'll be finding out more misinformation on Facebook too. It's gonna go with it, because I think that's getting worse and worse every day.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
No, I'm sorry. So I said, the other half of that will expand too, which is calling out bad information, on Facebook and any kind of,
Right.
which I haven't done a lot of, but I see that increasing, just based on what people are sending me now.
Right, and I think,
So I'd like to tell anybody who doesn't know, I have no interest in reading or seeing any of that. I know everybody feels compelled to send it to me, but I have no interest in it whatsoever. But if I have to see it, and it's something that requires, or in my opinion requires, and I would expect all my colleagues to feel the same way, if there's something that you see that's wrong, that's misinformation, that's an attack, call it out, because that's the only way people are gonna know.
right, I mean, I'm fine with calling it out
Yeah.
within a meeting, I'm not gonna call it out on Facebook.
Oh, no.
That's just,
Oh, my God, no.
yeah, that's just not my.
No, no. All right, so we'll do that then.
But there also is, it's not just Facebook either. It's
No, I
just-
said
it's
that,
just-
that's, I said
it's-
social
yeah,
media in general.
Well, it could be coffee shop talk, or it could be
Yeah.
pizza shop talk. So I always try to call that out, as I hear it. But people are entitled to their opinions,
Yep,
so there is a fine line, there's a fine balance there.
that is true.
We can offer factual information or clarification, and there's ways to do that without, and that's in the code of conduct too, so we can do that. People have questions about things.
Yeah, the thing that I have problems with that is that people think stuff up in their head and then they put it out there as if it's somehow true, which is 99% of the time from what I've seen, it's not. So that's why it's important to keep everybody on track. All right, I'm gonna move on now to the next item, which is the code of conduct, which is comms.
All right, well, this is also, Crystal and I, we feel that this is something we ought to bring to the whole board. And it just establishes some left and right limits in terms of how we operate, not just behavior. I've passed this out to the board before the meeting. What I passed out is a Town of Brimfield Code of Conduct draft, guidelines for town boards, commissions, committees, public officials. It's modeled after what the MMA, the Massachusetts Municipal Association, put out through the Mass Interlocal Insurance Association. And they called it the Code of Conduct Guidelines for Towns, Boards, and Committees. And we're not going to talk about the details of this. Everyone is going to have time to read it, and that's our intent by passing it out today. I've read through it, and I've looked online to compare it to what the state recommends, and everything is the same as what the state recommends, with the exception of they had it modeled as if there's a town administrator or a town manager. We don't have that, so there's some wordsmithing does it, but it keeps it on the same straight and narrow. So everything in here is what the state recommends. And we'll go over the details of this at some other time, but I found it interesting. One point is, in this thing, it's not just guidelines for the select board, it's guidelines for all the committees in the town, and it includes guidelines for individuals speaking at public meetings. And everything we've been talking about. So it's right there, and it's not something we made up, but the state made up. And it's a great place to start, I think. So I'm recommending that we take this back, we read it, compare it to what you might find online. We come back in a couple weeks with our ideas, and at some point we accept this thing. It's already been looked at by our town council. This is from like 2024, by the way. It's a draft that made it to our own town council. They've looked at this already.
Right, this is, yep,
So-
embedded. I think it's an important document to have for many reasons, but what sticks out most important to me is if there is a board member or a committee member or whatever that is out of line, then we can say, hey, what about this? This, right here, what about this? No, we can't make everybody sign it. They can decide not to sign it, but it keeps everybody in check, and it gives us something to go back on. So I'm all for this. I've looked over this, several times. And I thank Tom for working with me on this. But I would agree, let's look it over. I wouldn't suggest making too many edits because it has been, or additions, because it has been vetted by council already. So I'd like to move forward with it.
Okay, so we were talking about, I think most people felt that if we put it on the next meeting in 2 weeks, that would give people enough time to go through it and come up with questions, ideas, thoughts,
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
All right. Deb, would you do me a small favor and just make a note for Chris to make sure that goes on the next agenda, please?
Yep.
That's it. Okay, thank you. The next two items are both the common victual, strike that. The first one's common victuals, the second is annual motor vehicle class 2 license.
So we're just going with, Chris has everything ready for us, right?
Yep.
There's several
Alright.
things here to sign too, so I want to make sure I don't forget to.
Yeah, okay. So I make the motion to accept the common victual license for Cumberland Farms.
I'll second that.
Cumberland Farms common victuals. All set? Okay, all in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you.
I make a motion to accept the annual motor vehicle class 2 license for Spring Mountain LLC.
I'll second that.
Pretty good? Okay, all in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye.
So this is.
I'll be happy to take the happiest motion of the night.
Oh, this?
Make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Oh, McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Don't leave until you sign all this